All right, my name is Todd from Go2 Cards, and today we're going to be looking at some high rarity cards that I think are worth investing in, or just getting a play set of them, having them, being able to use them. There's some very nice cards out there that are coming in at a very nice price. I think they're kind of at their floor. I would be looking at these cards. That's what we're talking about today on the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the like button. It does help us out. Couple things. The next video, we will reveal the giveaway winners. We had a Stardust sealed up for grabs, as well as a Fenrir from the tins. The other thing that I want you to know is over the next 2 days, I'm going to be traveling a little bit, so I will be somewhere else, but I will be recording videos, so my background will look a little bit different. So with that, let's jump into some of these high rarity cards that I think you should be looking at right now. Let me bring you over to TCG Player, and we will get that up. All right, the first card that I think that you should be looking at right now is Water Enchantress. Now, I know that this card has multiple high rarity printings. I know it has a QC, I know it has a collector's rare, and it also has an ultimate rare. So why the ultimate rare? There's a couple things that have kind of I've been thinking about in the high rarity department as it pertains to quarter centuries being a reality. And one of the things that I've noticed is with the advent of quarter centuries, that has radically affected the Starlight market and the collector's rare market the most. Those are the two markets that have just really collapsed. And it makes sense. The Starlight market, because quarter centuries look very similar to Starlights, except that the lettering is in gold rather than silver, and it doesn't. The QCs have the 25th century stamp on it, whereas Starlights don't. Outside of those two things, they look very similar. And that has collapsed the Starlight market. So I am not somebody who is buying Starlights right now. I do realize that there's a lot of talk about the Starlight market kicking back in, and that could very much be a reality. I'm not willing to risk the dice for the price of Starlights, even though they've fallen a lot. So I'm not going to recommend any Starlights to you to buy on this video. The second group is the collector's rare. And part of the reason the collector's rare have taken such a hit is because it seems like, even though it's not, but it seems like every card that got a collector's rare got upgraded to a quarter century. And so the collector's rare is no longer the highest rarity, and that has taken a bit of a hit. I was a collector's rare guy. That was my rarity that I preferred above all the rest. But I have since walked away from collector's rares. I don't buy them. I have sold as many of them as I can. So I'm not going to be recommending collector's rare either. So that does take Water Enchantress collector's rare off of the page. The other thing that I've noticed is that there are a couple rarities that have survived fairly well the quarter centuries, and that is Ghost Rare, because there's no Ghost Rare in Rarity Collection 1, 2, or the Bonanza that's coming, and the Ultimate Rares have still kind of survived, although they've taken a hit. There does seem to be a bigger reboot taking place in the Ultimates than the Collector's Rare or Starlights. So I'm looking at Water Enchantress or Ultimate Rare, and this card is super cheap. Now I know that the this engine is not being played in a lot of decks right now, but this is still a very good engine. Will find its way into the meta in certain decks at certain times. I don't think that this engine is dead. And if it's not dead, this ultimate rare is absolutely beautiful. These are the water Enchantress that I have, the ultimate rares, and I highly recommend them, particularly when you are looking at this price point. What in the world is going on? Like, I just don't understand. We are talking like $8. I mean, that's hard to imagine. $8 for an ultimate rare water Enchantress. Sign me up for that. And again, I've talked about investing in cards on this channel. I'm not a huge fan of some of the investing that takes place, like when you're buying these quarter cards hoping they're going to go up to, 50 cents. Like, okay, that's you're risking your money that you have, and your return is probably going to be pretty little. But when you're talking about high rarity cards, that's where I think investing in Yu-Gi-Oh does have some benefit, because what is the ceiling of this card? The ceiling of this card is way higher than $8. I mean, you could conservatively come in, buy these at $8, and again, very conservatively, and flip these for $25 each. I think that's a very reasonable expectation. Now, you might have to hold on to them for a while, and if you're willing to do that, that could pay off. But primarily what I'm talking about is getting your play set. Getting the cards that you want for this game in the rarity that you want them. $8 is a great deal. And if you don't have your water Enchantress, I would not be buying the secrets. I would not be buying all the other printings of it. I would be focused on these ultimates, and I would get them even if you have to do it slowly and over time. So that's the first card. The second card I've talked about a lot. This is one of my favorite cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! I love this card. The ultimate rare is pretty cheap for what it is. This is coming in around $22, $23. I've talked about this many different times. This is criminally underpriced. Now, I know it has a Starlight. I know it has a QC, but both of those are 100 plus. If you want a nice looking version of Zeus, there's two versions that I always recommend. First, original print from Phantom Rage. That secret rare is very, very nice. I have it. It's a beautiful card. The second and the main one that I recommend is the ultimate rare, because the ultimate rare is low 20s. For Zeus in ultimate rare, it's very nice looking ultimate rare. I would definitely be looking at picking up this Zeus. It's not going to go much lower than this. This is kind of, where it's been hovering for quite a while. You can see on the chart here. Let me bring this down. Let me go out a year. You can see on the chart here, it looks like it's kind of leveling out here. This is a place where I would be comfortable going in on this card. To be honest with you, I'm comfortable going in on this card around $30. So for this being low 20s, I think it's a fantastic buy. I would definitely be looking at grabbing Zeus Ultimate Rare. The third Ultimate Rare that I want to look at today is this Enemy Controller. Now, I know that Enemy Controller has a QC. I know because I have them. I have my third one coming. It's just not here yet. They're very, very nice. I love the QCs. I love the Enemy Controller QCs. But to be honest with you, this Ultimate Rare is better than those QCs. It just is. It's one of the most beautiful ultimate rares that I've seen. That swirl on the back is absolutely amazing. The card looks phenomenal. And if you're looking for an enemy controller that looks really nice, yes, the QCs look nice, but the Ultimate looks better. It just does. So some of the Ultimates I don't think look that nice. Like, you know, I've already talked about it. I don't think Fenrir particularly looks nice. Sprite Blue, on the other hand, that's an amazing one. Now, I do know some of them have the swirl and some of them don't for some weird reason. But if you can get your hands on the ones that have that beautiful background, those ones are very, very nice. The enemy controllers, that's a card I would definitely be targeting. And look how cheap they are. They are $15. They're basically the same price as the quarter century. The quarter century might be a little bit less. It might be like 12, maybe even 10 at this point. But if you're going to get one of these, the Ultimate Rare is the one to get. All right, so we're going to leave the Ultimate Rares. Those are 3 Ultimate Rares that I think, first of all, are playable at different times. They're very good cards. That will see play in the future, can see play right now, and they're absolutely beautiful, and they're way too cheap. And that's the metric that I'm using for what I'm telling you to buy. They're too cheap, they look really good, and they have potential to go up pretty significantly. So, moving on from there, I want to talk about Ghost Rare that nobody ever talks about. I love this card. I have 2 of this. I actually play this in my fish deck. I still think the card is a good card. But even if you don't think it's a good card right now, it still sees play in different formats. I think the card is a fine investment at like $20-some, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, this Ghost Rare. I love it. The quality control seems to be pretty good. I have heard a couple complaints, but overall I think it's pretty good. So if you're buying one, you should have confidence that you're going to get a good looking Ghost Rare out of this. Ghost Rares are best to buy in person. That would be my recommendation to you. I buy quarter centuries and starlights and collector's rare, even ultimate rares online with no problem, but Ghost Rares give me a little worried. I don't trust a lot of sellers out there. I am a seller, and I don't trust a lot of sellers out there with their Ghost Rares and what they call near mint. So that's kind of an issue there. But this is the card I would be targeting, especially with a lot of water support coming out. This card can easily see play in those with those cards, the C100s. Use this. You've got to play this in your deck to use those. It's a very useful card. It really is. So I would be looking at picking up this card, particularly with that water support coming out. Never know what Konami's going to do. It's really, really cheap. 20-some bucks for a Ghost Rare. It's a Ghost Rare for 20 bucks. That's pretty cool. The next one, now quality control on these, we all know, is a total disaster. Not on the front. The front is generally pretty good. It's the back. It's got that glaze on the back that is not ideal. I'm gonna be honest with you. We bought many cases of Ghosts from the past too, and I never saw one that didn't have it. So I have just come to terms with they all have this. That's part of the card. And because they all have it, it doesn't make mine less than any others because nobody has one that doesn't have it. Now, I guess there could be some that don't have it or have less of that kind of stuff on the back. But I'm comfortable buying Ghosts from the Past 2 because I know what I'm getting. And the truth is, you're only touching this Cyber Dragon for $40-some, or I think it's actually lower than that. For $38. You're only touching this card for $38 because they all have that. If they didn't have it, these cards would be a lot higher. And I'm using Cyber Dragon here just to say all the cards from Ghosts from the past. All the Ghost rares. They're all they're absolutely beautiful. If you can get past the back of them. But Cyber Dragon is the one I would target, particularly if Cyber Dragon gets support. And I've been hearing rumblings that Cyber Dragon is getting close to getting some support. If it does, this card's going to go up. And there's no doubt about it. This card will go up. I know there's a lot of printings of Cyber Dragon. I know people have their different versions they like better. This is a version that people will be chasing, though. So, Cyber Dragon particularly, but every Ghost from the past too, I think is worth investing. And I think Dark Magician Girl is sitting around 150. Which, when that card came out, we were selling them for 400. Just ripping them out for 400 each. They're now at 150. It's a pretty good deal for a Dark Magician Girl. I love it. By the way, the new Dark Magician metal card that they revealed, Cohen and I just decided, I think it was last night or the night before. No, it was 2 nights ago. We just decided to buy it. So we went in and we bought one because I want it and I want to put it on the back shelf back there. So we're going to have one of those coming. But all right, moving on from the Ghost Rare, there are 2 quarter centuries that I think I just need to talk about. We've not talked about these for a long, long time. Look, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in quarter century. 20 bucks. Like, 20 bucks. You can pick up this one right here for $20.50. It's a little bit more after you get past that one, like 22, 23. But this is an absolutely beautiful card. If you play Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and you don't want to go out and get the Starlight, this is a beautiful version of the card. And for 20 bucks, this is at its floor. Look at this chart here. Look at that chart. When you see the drop has stopped and now it is just going east and west, this thing is consolidating. There's a good chance, I think, there's a better chance, let's put it that way, there's a better chance that this card goes up than it goes back down, or that it goes further down. So if you're looking at this card, I wouldn't wait past this. 20 bucks is a pretty good deal. If I told you when this set came out that you can get Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for 20 bucks in quarter century, most of you would have taken me up on it. Well, here it is. And I think now's probably the time that you want to come in here and grab it. I have mine. I think that this is a good card for you to look at and buy. By the way, I don't have any of these. I don't have any of these cards for sale. So I'm not telling you to buy these cards because we have these cards for sale. We don't have any of these cards. They're just cards that I think that you should be looking at. And the last one is probably the biggest one for me, and that's Access Code at quarter century. Same thing as Dragoon. Look, it's leveled out. This is the time to go in and buy this card because, again, once it levels out, there's a better chance that it's going to go up than it's going to go down. Now, if the card somehow falls out of the meta, or if it's a card that is not really played, then yeah, it could continue going down. But Access Code in quarter century for $22.50, that's a great buy. And these are cards that you like having in quarter century. You want to throw down Access Code on the table, just stare at them and say, look at my beautiful Access Code. What you gonna do? Or look at my beautiful Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. How you gonna get rid of it? And I absolutely love having my cards that just stick on the board, or cards that people hate being in high rarity. So that's another thing, another reason why I reckon. That's why I don't like hand traps in high rarity. Because I have my Ash Blossom. All I do with my Ash Blossom is I take it and I shoot it in the graveyard and it's gone. But if I can get a card and stick it on the board and it's going to stay there and you have to stare at it the entire game, yeah, you can bet I'm going to make sure that I have the highest rarity in doing that, just because I want you to stare at that sucker. So those are the cards that I got for you today. Again, I'm going to be traveling a bit, so I'll be out of town. But if you are in the market, or if you're looking at these higher rarity cards, I think now is a really good time to do it. So again, my name's Todd from Go2 Cards, and I am out of here.